everyone, my name is Mitravinda. So today I am going to talk about very important scientists who discovered some of the fundamental theories in physics. But before we get started, let me ask you something. It's kind of a task. Okay, so can you jump and not fall back on the ground? Honestly, I cannot do that. See? Uh-oh, I fell back on the ground. Now, it's your turn. Just stand up and jump. Hey, you landed back on your feet. Don't worry, it's not your fault. Nobody can do that. It's because of a little something we call gravity. Gravity is a force that pulls everything down to the ground. Without gravity, there would be no life on Earth. Everything would float off to space. Do you know who discovered this very important theory? Yes, that's right, Isaac Newton. And don't you know that famous story about Isaac Newton? That apple story? He was taking a nap under an apple tree and third, an apple fell right on his head. But for him, it was an aha moment. He thought and thought it over. Why would the apple fall down, not up? And that's how Sir Isaac Newton discovered gravity. Now, let's have a look at Sir Isaac Newton's life. Sir Isaac Newton is considered one of the most important scientists in history. He was a mathematician, physicist, astronomer, theologian, and author who was described in his own day as a natural philosopher. Newton was born in Woolsthorpe, England on December 25, 1642. He lived a somewhat alone life, focusing on his writing and studies. Later on, Isaac went to Cambridge and became a professor of mathematics. In 1687, Newton published his most important work called Philosophia Naturalis Principia Mathematica, which translates as Mathematical Principles of Natural Philosophy. In this work, he explains the three laws of motion as well as the law of universal gravity. Therefore, he is one of the most influential scientists of all time. The following are some of his major scientific discoveries. Number 1. Newton's law of universal gravitation. Isaac Newton is probably most famous for discovering gravity. His theory about gravity helped explain the movement of planets around Sun too. Number 2. Laws of motion. Haven't you heard this? To every action, there is always an equal and opposite reaction. This is Newton's third law of motion. These fundamental laws of physics laid the foundation for classical mechanics. Number 3. Calculus. Newton invented a whole new type of mathematics which he called fluxions. Today, we call this math calculus, and it is an important concept in advanced engineering and science. Number 4. Reflecting telescope. In 1668, Newton invented reflecting telescope. It uses mirrors to reflect light and form an image, which made a huge leap in astronomy. The Sir in front of Isaac Newton's name is an honorific, indicating that he had been made a knight by the British monarch. If I have seen further than others, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants. This was quoted by him. He died in the year 1727. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it's useful.